White balance. New white balance. Uh-huh. Sure. Appreciate it. Here, you can just hold that side. I wash my hands a lot.
It's all right. Good. Yeah, no problem.
Everybody okay, white balance wise? Okay. Everybody okay audio wise?
Good morning. We're about 3 minutes out. About 3 minutes out.
Well, good morning. Thank you for being here with us on this beautiful day. I'm pleased to be joined today by BCPS Superintendent Dr. Darrell Williams, as well as Board of Education Chairwoman Makita Scott and Baltimore County Administrative Officer Stacy Rogers. You know, as a former Baltimore County teacher, one of my proudest accomplishments in my first 2 years in this office has been to provide record funding each year for public education. The most important job for local officials is to ensure a quality education for every child in their jurisdiction, and that's certainly true here in Baltimore County. This past year has reinforced just how important that investment is. All of our students, families, educators, staff, and administrators have faced significant struggles as a result of this pandemic. They've lost nearly a year in the classroom. Virtual learning has presented new and unique challenges for students, educators, and parents alike. And these challenges, we know, were further compounded by a devastating ransomware attack. The ramifications of these are far-reaching, and they will take years likely to fully address. But as we work to recover from this crisis, we know that we have an obligation to make the investments necessary to equip our students and educators with the resources they need to stay safe, to make up for lost ground, and to ensure a brighter future for our children. Even before the pandemic hit, we knew our schools needed significant additional investments, particularly in those communities that have been historically disadvantaged. Disparities in education lead to disparities later in life, and those disparities have only been magnified by the devastation of this past year. That's why I was pleased that during this legislative session, the Maryland General Assembly finalized the Blueprint for Maryland's Future, a transformative piece of legislation that means Baltimore County will eventually have state resources to expand everything from early childhood education to career and technical training, to pay teachers more, and to provide additional investments in the classroom. I want to again thank Speaker Adrian Jones, Senate President Bill Ferguson, and every member of the Maryland General Assembly for stepping up and providing this support. But it's also clear that we need to increase our commitment at the local level, and that's what we're here to announce today. The budget I will present to the Baltimore County Council tomorrow includes the single largest dollar increase over maintenance of effort in Baltimore County's history, with an additional $40 million in general funds over and above MOE. The proposed budget for our school system totals more than $2 billion, including a combination of county general funds and federal stimulus funds, covering nearly every request of the Board of Education while also leaving significant room for additional investments. This budget represents an increase of more than 10% for education spending. I was pleased to work very closely with Superintendent Williams to arrive at this budget, which restores the 122 teaching positions originally slated to be lost due to declining enrollment, and fully funds step increases for BCPS staff, as well as a well-deserved 2% mid-year cost of living adjustment. As we emerge from this pandemic, it will be critical to provide students with safe and supportive environments that meet mental health needs and ensure students can meet all of their other basic needs. To that end, we will be leveraging federal dollars to pay school-based educators and administrators for an additional 15 minutes each day to support that student recovery. The budget also includes funding that builds on the work we started to expand support for new counselors and pupil personnel workers, as well as millions more for middle school programs and summer school efforts. We're also leveraging federal funds to increase support for the community eligibility provision, which allows schools to offer free breakfast and lunch to all students. This year, more than ever, running a high school sports program has also proven to be an incredibly difficult and daunting task. So our budget funds the reclassification of athletic directors as 12-month employees, recognizing their dedication and time commitment that the work requires. Notably, in addition to all of these investments, the budget includes another $72 million in federal funding that has not yet been allocated, and that the school system can use to further support students and educators alike in the coming year. I know this has been a trying year for our students, their parents and teachers, and for all of our school staff. But there are brighter days yet ahead, and I look forward to seeing our classrooms full again next year. I'm looking forward to parents being able to return to their attention to their work and our teachers being face-to-face with their students. I look forward to sending my own daughter to a Baltimore County public school next year. With these investments, we will build stronger futures for children across Baltimore County, like Daria and like every child across our great county. I want to thank again Dr. Williams and Chair Scott for their partnership and for the opportunity to deliver this truly historic budget for the residents of Baltimore County. With that, I'll turn things over to Dr. Williams for a few remarks.
So good morning, and thank you to our County Executive, Johnny Olszewski, for this invitation. It is always the right time to talk about investing in our most precious resource in Baltimore County, our students. So as we look ahead to the next school year, this budget proposal responds to the COVID crisis with the staffing and resources to buffer the pandemic's impact on our students and schools. Schools are not just buildings. Our schools are our people. We deeply appreciate the support towards the work of our strategic plan, the compass, our pathway to excellence, to give students the gift of more educators, more experts in social emotional learning, more time, and more resources. So on behalf of the school system, I would like to thank our County Executive, Johnny Olszewski Jr., for recognizing that our schools are critical and important to the citizens, parents, students, and staff of Baltimore County. Our schools have long enjoyed the support of our elected government officials, and that legacy continues today. I look forward to continuing to work closely with our leaders as the budget process moves forward. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak on behalf of the Board of Education of Baltimore County. This has been a difficult year for all of us in multiple ways, but I am proud that the school board has remained focused on ensuring the health and safety of our students and staff. Now that we are seeing some light at the end of the tunnel, we are fully focused on recovering and ensuring that our students are where they need to be academically, and that we are staffed appropriately to provide our students with the quality education and social emotional support they need. Recovering will require a massive investment and unwavering commitment on behalf of the entire community. The Board of Education members appreciate the support we have received from County Executive Olszewski. His proposed $2.5 billion fulfills many of our requests and will enable us to make significant strides forward for our students, teachers, and staff. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair Scott. Happy to take any questions. Again, this is a historic budget for Baltimore County. It is the most important investment we can make in our students, as the superintendent said, and our educators. And so I have every confidence that the County Council will be supporting this and the remainder of our budget to be released tomorrow. A lot of other really important investments, probably none more critical than the ones we're announcing today. So look forward to working with them in the days ahead to ensure that these investments are sustained and kept in the budget.
So a lot of these are important. What I'm focusing in is on our work that we are going to do now through the summer and all through next school year. So this budget will support us with any staffing that we need, any additional support that our students may need, but definitely looking at how to accelerate the learning that students learn differently this year. There was some success with our online. We were bringing back students. We want to continue to provide those alternatives. So this will give us the platform to continue that work, but also look at how do we accelerate the learning for some students that may need it, and for those who may need additional support with academics or social emotional learning.
What's
So my reaction is that we had a situation that we had to respond to that was a subset of our staff, and we provided the necessary resources to support any staff that is questioning what may have happened. That situation had nothing to do with our cyber attack that happened in November. It was a human error that that caused this issue to surface. We immediately responded to it, and those who may have been impacted were informed, and they know exactly what they need to do, just provide that additional coverage if they were concerned about any personal information release. So I'm confident in what our financial office did to respond, and the fact that we worked with legal counsel to make sure we had everything in order. So thank you for that.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you. Appreciate your working the budget to get to this point. Thank you both.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.